Hello learners, welcome to our next virtual learning for the day. I hope you are all doing well. Today we have integrated science for basic 6 and our strand is cycles and our substrand is life cycle of okra or okra plants. Now let us look at our learning objective for the day. By the end of the day we should be able to demonstrate the life cycle of okra or okra. Now let us look at our starter for the day. We have seed, seedling, mature plant, germination, embryo, annual plant, and viable seed. Now in our previous lesson, we studied living and non-living things. And I showed you that plants are one of the non-living things. Yeah, that was the first thing we've considered. That's because why? Most plants grow from what? Seed. We know that plants produces their own kind. Today we want to look at two things here. First of all, we want to look at examples of what? The flowering plants. We want to look at flowering plants. And first of all, our substrand is life cycle of what? Okra or okra. Now, I believe according to human stages, we grow from what? From childhood, then from there we move on to what? Adulthood, right? These are the stages in life. The same thing applies to plants as well. Plants also grow from one stage to another. So today we want to consider some few stages in plants. First of all, we consider some annual plants here. Now, when we say annual plants, what are annual plants? Annual plants, we said annual plants are plants which complete their entire life cycle in 1 year. Annual plants are plants which complete their entire life cycle in 1 year. And then we want to look at examples of annual plants. The first one is okra, and the next one is maize. And we have watermelon and common wheat. But today we shall consider what you call okra. We shall look at the life cycle of okra. Now, first of all, we all know that okra is a flowering plant, at the same time a vegetable, right? A vegetable which is mainly grown for its edible green fruits. And I believe all of you enjoy okra. Now, first of all, what happened is that, as I told you, that every flowering plant has its own stages. So today we want to consider the first stage, the life cycle of what? Okra plants. The first stage is what? Seed. I told you that every plant grow from seed, right? Grow from seed. So what is a seed? So we say a seed is a tiny plant. It's a tiny plant which is found in what? In a particular seed called embryo, right? Which is called embryo. Now, in itself, for example, first of all, for every plant to grow, it needs what? Seed. For it to be able to what? To grow. So every seed, first of all, need what? Earth, needs water, and what? A viable seed. What does it mean by a viable seed? A viable seed are seeds that are what? Are favorable under a certain condition. For example, you cannot take a seed that is spoiled to plant. It will not germinate. So we need a viable seed for that particular seed to germinate. So now, seed is what is a what? Development of seedling from seed is what we call germination. Now, from there, when the seed begins to grow, it begins to grow into what you call seedling or baby plants. Seedling or baby plants. Now, at this stage, what's happened is that the seed begins to grow into what we call what? Baby plants. And these baby plants also need water also need water, warm, and then air for it to what? Grow well on that particular field. And we also see sometimes tomatoes, which are what? Are plants are on what? On what? Seed bed. And they finally transfer that particular tomatoes or what, which is the seedling or the baby plant, into what? The particular field for it to grow well. Now, what's happened here is that after when the seeds develop into seedling, what happens here is that the seedling or the baby plants begin to what? To use what? The seed leaf which is stored in the what? The seed. It begins to what? Use the seed leaf which is stored in the seed. So as time goes on, the baby plant begins to what? Make its own food. It's what we call photosynthesis. It's what we call photosynthesis. Now, as time goes on, the seedling or the baby plants begin to what? Grow into what? What we call adult plants. Where the adult plants begin to make what we call flowering plants, which bears what? Fruits. And finally, so sometimes we see a fallen mango on the ground. Why? Because the season has come, or the mango is ripe enough to fall on the ground. So finally, if no one picks that particular mango, what happens is that it will rot on the ground, and the seed will begin to germinate. Now we want to look at the conditions necessary for okra plants to germinate. We want to look at the conditions. There is a condition that are necessary for flowering plants to germinate. If those conditions are not there or in place, the seed will not be able to do well. So the first thing is what? Good quality of soil. We need to get what? Good quality of soil. We have clay soil, we have sandy soil, and we have what? Loamy soil. And considering these things, which one do you think that the okra seeds will germinate? So we use what? The loamy soil. Why? Because it is what? Rich. So therefore, the okra plant, will do well on what? On loamy soil. We also consider warm weather. The warm weather, as we all know that every human being needs the sunlight, which gives us vitamin. So plants also need what? They also need what you call warm weather, or the sunlight, for them to be able to do well. We also have what you call water or rainfall. Every plant needs rainfall or water to be able to do well. Without rainfall, plants cannot do well on their feet. We also talk about the last one is what? Air. Every living thing needs air to be able to breathe or to carry on life activities. So also plants, right? So that plants are what? Are also living things. When we were teaching that particular topic. So they also need what? Air for them to be able to carry on their life activities. I hope you understand today's lesson. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.